Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil. Now we have an extra special game for you today as this list was actually submitted by one of our Patreons. So big thank you to Andy, who not only supports us on the channel but has provided an interesting list for me to fly in a faction that I'm very fond of. So thank you very much, Andy. Looking forward to this and I hope this game lives up to your expectations. But joining me for this, we have
James. I'm here to see what weird stuff you've been given.
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie, in comparison to some of the weird and crazy stuff you other commentators have threatened, this one's a bit tamer. Andy did sort of go with ships that he thought looked really cool, and I have to agree, they are some cool ships. And it was interesting to try and put a list together with these, but it was good fun to fly them, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, let's go through the list. So, obviously we have myself on the right, flying the Republic. We have, in the V-Wing, Oddball with Marksmanship, Alpha 3B Besh and the Thermal Detonators. We have Shaak in the Eta 2 with Brilliant Evasion and Deadeye Shot. Warthog in the LA-80 with 5s and Veteran Turret Gunner. And the ARC 170 with Squad 7 Veteran, Expert Handling, Veteran Tail Gunner, and R7A7. So quite a good fun list there, nice mix of ships.
Yeah, four ships. You got a medium in there, you got a bit of support. Good mix.
Yeah. And who have we got on the other side and what are they trying to destroy me with?
So you have Quinn on the other side of the table to you, and he has brought Gideon Hask in the G-class shuttle with Swarm Tactics, Hondo Ohnaka crew, Agent Terex crew, and a shield upgrade, along with Whirlwind in the Whisper, with Elusive, Daredevil, homing missiles, prime thrusters, and the enhanced jamming suite. And then rounding off the list in the big shuttle is Petty Officer Thanisson with targeting synchronizer, the sensor buoy suite, heavy laser cannon, fire control system, and a shield upgrade.
Nice.
It's a lot of upgrades.
Yeah, a lot of upgrades. A lot of health and hull to chew through, especially with those extra shield upgrades on there. So, yes. And although the Upsilon might not be the most maneuverable ship, it really packs a punch with its 4 dice primary, and then adding heavy laser cannon on there, it's definitely not one to take lightly. So that's going to be interesting to come up against.
Yeah, the combo with the heavy laser cannon is like, well, you've already got 4 dice. Why do you need that? Oh, linked battery on the ship's native ability gives it an extra die.
Yeah.
If you can get the bullseye with a large, slow ship. So we'll see if that comes up, but if it does, something is taking damage.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the first time I've seen heavy laser cannon on an Upsilon recently, and my initial thoughts were exactly the same of, but you already have a 4 dice shot, and then obviously I looked at the card again and went, oh, that's why you do it. Okay, I'm shutting up now, makes way more sense. So, but it is cool, like giving a ship with an already scary gun an even scarier gun. But it's a really interesting combo of 2 shuttles and an interceptor style ship in there. So it's gonna be fun to see how that actually plays out, especially with the interceptor not even being the highest initiative on that side.
Yeah, having a fairly frail ship at only initiative 3 would concern me, but with Elusive and the jamming and maybe even Daredevil to get into some awkward positions to shoot at, I feel like Whirlwind could be fine.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen Daredevil used in some really interesting games in Flight Academy. So yes, it's definitely an upgrade that I think, at least within our local community, we might see more of after seeing how effective it actually can be. But I think one of the things we said is in a game where you have more ships, it could be a lot better. So I'm interested to see it. And again, I always forget that the Whisper has that double talent slot because it's such a rarity within the game. I think it's one of 3 ships that have it.
Sounds about right.
Both A-Wings have the double talent slot.
There might be something else that has it, but yeah.
Yeah. But
so
it doesn't happen often.
The list that you have, the submitted one, is there any ships or pilots or upgrades that you hadn't used before?
I've never actually used Oddball before.
In any capacity. He's on like every ship in that faction.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually used Oddball in any capacity. I mean, yes, he's pretty much on every ship that doesn't have Jedi pilots. But I've never actually used him. I tend to find either with ships where he's normally a pilot, I'm running more generics instead. So on the V19, I tend to run a 3 or 4 wing of blue or gold squadrons instead. With the V-wing, I actually really like Click. He's a really fun pilot and one that I've actually enjoyed using. So actually using Oddball is a new pilot for me.
Okay.
I mean, the other ships I've used before, I've not used the Arc 170 very often, which is an absolute shame because I think it's such a cool looking ship.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, I absolutely adore that ship. But when Andy gave me, like, he said these are the ships I had to use. Now, I will preface, Andy doesn't actually play X-Wing a lot. He's played a little bit of X-Wing, but he loves the channel and wanted to support us. And he's obviously learning a lot through this. And he was looking at it more from I'm going to pick ships that I think look really cool, which I think, sometimes it's kind of how I write lists. I look and go, that's a cool ship. What can I do with that? Because half the time I want it to look super cool.
And also when you go, pick the top 4 like recognizable. Oh, that's a ship from the Republic.
Yeah.
It would probably be these 4. Maybe swapping out the Jedi Starfighter for the Episode 2 one, depending on where you are in the timeline. But you've got the Gunship, you've got the Ark, you've got a Jedi, and you've got the V-wing, which does show up here and there.
Yeah, I mean, it's more towards the end that it shows up, and if you've watched Clone Wars and Bad Batch, it's in there.
Yes, the real predecessor to the TIE. Although, I mean, the Jedi Starfighter is also kind of reminiscent of it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with those, the wings on it, which are there to cool the ship down. But yeah, I mean, even when you first see the V-wing on screen, it has that TIE sound. And obviously its inbuilt ability of the twin ion engines ignore the TIE ship restriction on upgrade cards so that you can actually use TIE upgrades as well, like the twin ion limiters, etc.
Yeah, although here Oddball has not got any of those, I think, but does have the modification, the config that lets him then take the thermal detonators.
Yes.
You've effectively got a TIE fighter with bombs that's not a TIE bomber. What's happening?
Absolutely. I love the Alpha 3B Besh title. I think it's my favourite of the 2. So while you perform a primary attack, you may spend your lock on the defender to change one of your blank or focus results to a hit, and you add the device slot. So I think it's a really cool ability and can work really well. If you've got a lock and you've got that one pesky focus or blank, you can just go, all right, I'll just spend my lock and get 3 hits there if I'm in range 1 or 2 hits. It works really well. But then you get to add a bomb, and I love thermal detonators. I think it's one of my favourite bombs in the game. Yeah. Like it can be terrible. It can do absolutely nothing, or it can absolutely wreck. So, and you get to drop 2 of them.
Yes, being able to drop 2, covering a larger area than I think basically any other bomb, at least in like one deployment, does seem ideal, really.
As a bomb, yes. Obviously, there are some mines that cover bigger areas. But being able to drop 2, it means you've got a bit more scope to cover things. I mean, we'll have to see how well the new Blaze Bombs go from the Pride of Mandalore pack. Maybe I switch out to that for a little bit. You never know.
I mean, definitely give them a try.
Oh, absolutely. Once we have points for them, because obviously at time of recording, we've got the packs, but no points. Awesome. But yeah, I mean, I love the V-Wing. I haven't flown it enough. I think it's one of those ones I would like another one. So I think it would work well with 2. But Shakti in the Eta 2, she's actually one of my favourite Eta 2 pilots.
She's got such a good ability.
Oh, her ability of spending a force in the end phase to allow a ship at range 0 to 2 to keep hold of its green token is brilliant, because you spend that force, they keep their token, then you get the force back.
Yeah, you're effectively giving a friendly ship. Well, it can be yourself, I think, as well. Range 0 to 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're giving a ship the Moldy Crow title, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's a really cool ability, and it works well with ships like the LAAT and the Ark, who can be in a position where they don't have any modifications. So it's just, I like it. And the LAAT and Ark, I mean, we've seen the LAAT on the channel. I flew it at a tournament and really enjoyed it. I just think it's a cool looking ship, and just from the prequel era, it's so iconic. So
yeah, it's it's got those big beam cannons on the side that come in looking like a massive lightsaber. They're great.
Yeah, it is cool. But not discounting Quinn's list, I like the ships that Quinn's got. They are cool ships. I myself have not actually flown the G-class yet. I only recently got it. I just haven't actually got around to get it on the table yet.
I'm really curious to see how he plays the shuttle, the little shuttle.
Yeah.
Because it's Quinn. He's got some odd combination of stuff. Because what has he got? He's got Gideon Hask as the pilot. So while you or a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 performs a primary attack against a damaged defender, if the attacker rolled 2 or fewer attack dice, it may gain 1 strain to roll 1 additional attack die. So for the most part, that's kind of boosting just himself, or maybe Whirlwind if shooting not in the bullseye, I guess.
Yeah. So again, that works.
But then he's also got Hondo on board, and Hondo can just cause madness.
Well, this is the list that Hondo isn't actually as damaging as it normally would, because you can coordinate up to 2 ships that are friendly with each other at range 0 to 3, coordinate 1 in action, give the other 1 a jam. Which ship in the entire game doesn't care about jams? That's right, the TIE Whisper. It's almost like Hondo is made to support the TIE Whisper. I
guess in this case, Hondo is more of a support thing.
Yeah, but again, you can use it against the enemy and just really potentially help one, but mess up the other one.
So we are moving over to a little bit of shooting.
Ineffective shooting.
I don't think anything happened there. So that was, if we're just starting off, that would
be oddball onto Whirlwind, because I have the initiative and also I have an initiative 5, because we are doing road in this.
Yes, so Shakti's taking a shot at Thanisson, trying to get through the reinforce.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for the reinforce token.
I mean, Quinn has positioned that really well for this opening shot.
Yeah.
All of your ships are in that front arc, so it's going to be taking reduced damage.
It's just a good job that he does not have bullseye on me.
There is also that. Yeah, you are just outside.
Because
maybe the expert handling on the Arc 170 will also help you avoid that, because that is a fun combination.
Oh, it's brilliant. I absolutely love that.
If you can ever add a better barrel roll to a big ship, or in this case, even a medium one, just try it. It's a lot of fun. It
makes sense to me. So that I just absolutely loved it. That's scary.
That is, but then again, those green dice look pretty good.
Yep. Initially using a force there, and then noticing that I have an evade and nothing else is going to shoot me, so I'll use that instead. That's why I took the evade token there, because I knew I was going to take a big shot there.
Yeah, you have gone quite far forward with Shaak too there, haven't you?
I wasn't expecting the Upsilon to turn in quite as hard as it did.
That's fair.
So my intention was to try and flank round. But again, it's a much faster ship than the Ark and the LA-80, unfortunately.
Yes.
And also, incidentally, this was the first game I'd actually played this year.
Okay.
I'd actually been recording a lot of games instead.
Oh, not good green there. But reinforce means
reinforce.
Just 1 damage, I think, goes through.
Just the 1, yeah. So reinforce is really good.
And now
it is really good.
Is that? Oh.
Whirlwind lining up shot, no bullseye. I think we actually had basically paralleled our bullseyes just out of arc of each other. Which is,
it's beneficial for you.
Yeah.
Not so
very much so. Yeah, it means it's a 3 dice attack, not a 4 dice attack. Ooh. And
that's not good.
No, that's not good. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Just checking upgrades in case there is anything that can be done.
Yeah, just using that one
just
focus.
Just a focus for 1, which is avoided.
Whew. Wipe the brow there. A little bit nerve-wracking. That's a big... all of Quinn's ships are big ships. Like in actual model size in comparison.
Yeah, none of them are quite staying within the confines of their base, are they?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it like the Ark and the LA-80 are similar size to the G, but the G still just stands out. Like, it's got a very proud figure to it.
I like that it's just a shrunken down Upsilon, just with an additional fin on top.
Yeah. Almost makes you think like in an evolutionary step, that fin comes off as it gets larger.
Yeah, that's the bit where the fish has just started to walk on land.
Yeah.
And then you get the Upsilon.
Absolutely. But, we have some thermals dropping here.
Okay. Looks like potentially 2.
Yeah, seeing
the sensible thing, dropping the further one first.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that done the other way around going, oh yeah, that's
yeah.
Complicated that, haven't we?
I mean, dropping bombs is already tricky enough with those templates because you put them down and they're like, right, can I just borrow a hand to hold my ship whilst I take the token out so I don't dislodge anything? I know some people have like the nice tokens, or they use the Aces, the huge ship token, like the one with for this wing token to do it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is a bit tricky. Oh, and that doesn't look very nice there for Shaak 2, because that's a very large ship.
Yeah, unless you're managing to sneak behind.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
Oh, and that is a bump, so that actually wouldn't be too bad for Shaak 2 there.
No reinforce either. At least to begin with, because...
oh no, I think it actually did make it just. Must have just made it. Wow, that is impressive. What is Whirlwind doing?
Oh, predicted the bombs or just decided to go the other way. But I think it's a bump. I feel like I'd rather take the bump than the bombs, though.
Yeah, because as you said, although the bombs could potentially do nothing.
So I think that turn may have put him on a rock. I don't know. It's quite close. Again, there's your hands now.
It'd be
close. I guess if he
close.
Cleared it, he could probably have barrel rolled out the way.
Yeah.
I also just realised I had the list built slightly wrong. I had the wrong pilot in the Upsilon. It's Thanisson that's in there, not the other guy. I had it as Thanisson. Why would they name them so similarly?
I mean, Tabson's quite a common one to see as
See,
well.
now Swarm Tactics on Gideon makes more sense.
Yes.
Because he's only initiative. So Thanisson is only initiative 1, so Gideon can bump him up to a 4. That makes far more sense now.
Absolutely.
That's a Quinn combo there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fact that you've got Hondo, Swarm Tactics, and Terex, just those 3 cards together just feel like a very Quinn combo.
Yeah.
I love the Quinn combos. Sometimes you just look at it going, why did I never think of that? He just does come up with some really interesting stuff. And again, we have him on the channel quite often to commentate, but he's also a really good person to play against because, again, like a lot of the people in our local community, it doesn't matter the result as long as they're having fun. And Quinn has sort of set himself the challenge to try and make sure that he uses every upgrade card at least once.
Fair enough.
Is a tall order because there are a lot of upgrade cards out there and more just keep appearing. So, but
I also I do want to give a shout out to your repainted list. The yellow looks really good on them. I
made so people that have seen some of my stuff, they might notice there tends to be a bit of a theme within the actual colours. So I do try and have them sort of like in a fleet sense. And as soon as they announced Republic, I was like, well, I love the M1 Starfighter. I think that bright yellow is awesome. I'm going to try and repaint all my other ships so they've got yellow on them. So I haven't done the V-Wing yet. I keep putting it off because yellow is not a fun colour to paint, but I just think it looks really nice on the Arc and the LA-80, and my V19s have been done as well. So it also helped that the the Y-Wing also had yellow on it, so it fit in already.
Yeah, that does help. You sent Shaak T completely out there.
I will say that the 3 bank went further across than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to go that far. Again, been a while since I'd played, but this was a really good fun. This was good fun. It was nice to actually get back and playing rather than being behind the camera all the time. But fortunately, unfortunately, one does reach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I might just clip it. Oh,
and it did nothing. Yeah. But my V19, my V-Wing and Shaak T are pretty safe. I think Gideon might just have a shot at Shaak T. No, I think I think it must be out then. Quinn hasn't even bothered checking the arc there.
It looks like he's thinking about an upgrade. What would that be? That's probably
Terex.
Terex, yeah. At the start of the engagement phase, you may choose a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 and move 1 calculate token from this card to have that ship gain a matching token. If there are no calculate tokens on this card, flip it, and then he becomes a cyborg and does different things, but I don't think he's got to that point yet.
No, I believe he's still got 2 calculates left on the card. I do like some of these cards which have like the flip side to them, but it's not a case of you can flip it when you want. It's a case of it flips at a certain point. So there's a couple out there like that.
The IG-11 that's coming in the Razor Crest looks very funny.
That does look funny.
Looking forward to that pack.
I mean, just for the ship itself, I'm looking forward to that pack. But yeah, there's some cool cards in there.
But look at the situation we've got here, right? The Upsilon, it bumped, right?
No, it didn't actually. It just missed the bump.
Oh, it did. Okay, but it still ended up with 3 green tokens this round.
Yeah. So obviously reinforced itself. Hondo gave it the focus, and then Terex gave it the calculate. It's like the only time you ever see an Upsilon with that many tokens, they're normally stress tokens.
True, yeah. I mean, I can see now what Quinn is going for with this Gideon Hask build. It is there for support. It's not doing damage. It's just buffing its friends.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's gonna. Thing is, it's gonna be a pain to take out because it's at the back, so you've got to get past everything else to start taking it out.
And it's got 8 health and 2 agility. It's not gonna be easy to take down.
I mean, 2 agility in itself is just crazy. I mean, it doesn't look like it should have 2 agility. It looks like it should have 1 at most.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue maybe it's smaller than the Upsilon. It's like one of the more modern ships, so maybe it's got a slightly better engine in it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to make it different from the Upsilon.
Big attack there from the Ark, using the LAAT's fire convergence as well to reroll 2 dice. So that is 2 crits going through, but he's still got 1,000 shields because it's an Upsilon with the shield upgrade.
Can never have too many shields.
Actually has more shields than some epic ships.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It is crazy. But another nice attack there from the LAAT, going full violence there. Spend the calculate, reinforce, just 1 damage. So frustrating.
I like that calculate being passed over because it's like, well, you don't have to spend a whole focus on it. Just change 1.
It is nice, and then it just means that when it does its big shot, then it's going to be fine. It's got its focus.
It's got its focus, yeah.
So it's a really clever tactic. So I do like that.
Pointing at various things, something about maybe target locks. I don't know, but here come the red dice.
Yes.
So that's range 1 into Warthog?
Into Warthog, so it's still 2 damage.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse.
That could have been a lot worse. That could have been.
It's always that situation where you go, all right, I've got 5 dice. I can probably get away with just having a focus, or I can just get away with having a target lock. And then if you took the focus, you end up with blanks and you can't spend it. And if you get a target lock, you use it and then you roll focus results.
Yeah, that's why if you can get a target lock and a focus, that is a happy day.
Yeah, and that's why fully modded attacks are just so much better.
Yeah. But whilst we're waiting for the dials to go down and get on to the next round, obviously, as we said, this list was provided to us by one of our Patreon sponsors. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can do using the link in the description below. We have a couple of different levels, but our top Patreon supporters do get to suggest to us a list that we will fly on the channel, as you can see. This is actually quite a nice list. We were quite happy with this. You could go absolutely crazy with it and give us something ridiculous. If you want to hear some options of the craziness that my fellow commentators come up with, check out some of the other videos. They've suggested some really balmy stuff, to be honest, but the link for that is in the description below if you do like what you're doing and want to support us.
What is it? Because like the weirdest ship build that you've seen?
That is
like thinking to like what sort of things could get suggested. What is like I would never have thought of that.
It wasn't specifically one ship. It was actually a combination of 2. But it was Quinn using, again, obviously it's Quinn, if he's going to be crazy and weird, using Wolf Warrow in the Orzatak and bombing it with a concussion bomb from a Y-Wing to trigger his ability before the game had even really started.
I mean, I can see why that would upset a Wookiee, yeah.
Yeah. And when I first saw him do it, I was just like, what are you doing? And then I saw it like, oh, okay, now I see what you're doing. And then because it was a concussion bomb, he just reloaded it and was absolutely fine. like with the Y-Wing, had all his bombs left and was just laughing. And obviously the Wookiee in question was very angry and getting extra dice. So that was quite an interesting build. But I don't know, there's a lot of interesting things you can do. Boba Fett crew on a squid was quite interesting.
Okay, yeah.
I won't spoil the game very much, but if you want to see how that goes, check out the epic game that went up on the channel last week. But that was an interesting build. But yeah, it's really difficult to pin down any like properly crazy, like odd builds. There's been so many over the last 18 months that it's hard to just try and think of them. I'd actually have to go back and look at the lists.
Yeah, I guess sort of question for the audience sort of thing. What's the weirdest build? Well, no, maybe not weirdest. What's the most like? Oh, I never would have thought of that kind of build.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Quinn is zooming with this Upsilon.
Yeah, he is just.
I'm kind of curious what the plan is now that he's got to turn around with it.
Hope that my ships also take a long time to turn around and use that to his advantage. Unfortunately, the LAAT has a turret and the Ark can shoot out the front and back.
Yeah. Because most people with the Upsilon like slowly roll it in, like move forward, do a stop, move forward, do a stop. Quinn is just going for it.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely booking it. And I think something that isn't too bad with it, it's got the health that it can, at a push, survive that. I mean, the Lambda does it better because the Lambda does have the rear gun, but I think the Upsilon's got the health and that just devastating forward arc attack.
Yeah, it's a case of whether or not you can keep the positioning in your favor that once you turn around, you're not still trying to turn around kind of thing.
Yeah.
It does look like there may be some bullseye play going on later.
Yes.
Depending on where Hask is going to end up.
Yeah, so Gideon still needs to move. Looks like it.
Oh, it's a bump. Oh,
it's a bump. I mean, that's good for me because, again, I didn't fly very well and I parked my Ark on a rock.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah. Obviously, we're still doing the, let's say, 2.1 rules.
The vanilla rules? Yeah.
Not quite vanilla, because we did use the newer rules for the gas clouds that you don't get the auto thrusters from them.
Right, okay.
So it's still the original negatives for landing on, going through, etc. But when it comes to actually the defense side,
shooting past them,
we haven't gone. Okay. We haven't gone for the new ones, well, the new proposed ones, because again, they're very different, and kind of want to see them actually properly in writing first before we start looking at using those.
Yeah, we might see some like FAQ related stuff to them, along with the release of new rules that might be like, oh, okay, so if that comes up, then we do this.
Yeah. Well, we should be seeing some new rules soon. And that is a position, by the way, which is very frustrating with the lock, especially when you roll back into it, when you have trail mix. Because, like, do I spend it and just guarantee that focus, or do I try and be greedy? I was greedy and it didn't work.
Or does Shakti have the bullseye?
No, she doesn't, unfortunately.
And no force.
Nope, no force, but does have a focus.
Not good enough.
Not good enough at all. There we go. I did take the focus away. I got worried there for a second that I cheated. And although Gideon can't take a shot at the Ark, he's probably more than happy to take a shot at Warthog, who has taken a lot of damage already. But still not at half points.
Shields are gone though, so he could get some nasty crits in.
Yeah. Not looking forward to this very much.
Actually, is Warthog going to get a use of the veteran turret gun at this turn?
No, it's forward and back.
Oh, it's forward backwards. Oh, I thought it was sideways.
Yeah. It's very disappointing. It's trying to rotate it to keep it in the right places can be quite tricky.
Is it red on Warthog to rotate? No,
I can double check that for you. So it is white to rotate, yes. But then obviously you're sacrificing any other action there. Oh, but we got a damage on Hask at last.
There's something.
So that's good.
Of course, Whisper can shoot out the back. Forgot about that. I mean, it's only 2 dice, and Warthog. Well, the Warthog is injured. So does that give Gideon's ability a chance, or no? Whirlwind is too far away, I think.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Well, Whirlwind would be too far away for that to trigger. But it looks like I think the arc might have actually been in the front for Whirlwind because Whirlwind had to try and bug out of there with those thermal detonators.
Again, sometimes bombs are just good board control rather than actual damage dealing.
Yeah.
Like it basically forced Quinn to get out of there and not stay on the attack.
Yeah, although you'd love them to cause damage as well, sometimes just ruining their attack run is just as good as actually getting damage on them.
Yeah, I mean, as good as dice are in this game, positioning is usually what wins it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could have the best dice in the world, but if you don't have the position to use them, then it doesn't really matter. But at the moment, I am quite happy with the position of Oddball and Shaak behind Hask, because they can probably stick behind there quite well. And there's Quinn's start of the turnaround, not worrying about the fact that he's now completely covering a gas cloud and getting a strain there. So fingers crossed I might be able to capitalise on that.
Yeah, his blue options aren't great. He's got the 1 forward, the 2 forward, and the 2 banks, and that seems to be it for the Upsilon.
Yeah, they're not the greatest, but again, that kind of ship, you kind of makes sense. So, but let's see what Warthog and Squad 7 veteran doing.
I'm gonna guess a rotate of the Yeah,
nice. Hope that Hask stays in the right hand side, but even if he doesn't, it's still a shot on the Upsilon unobstructed, which is quite nice.
Yeah, Hask's position is going to be an interesting one. Because, like, if you go slow, then the guys behind will catch up. If you go fast, then the arc has the rear shot, although you've gone that way.
Gone to pinball with the arc. Luckily, no strain, but also no action.
Looks like we're going over to Whirlwind.
Yes, it would be Whirlwind. Next, I actually had initiative again. I actually had initiative quite a few times in this game, which was quite handy.
Oh, asleep.
But triggering prime thrusters there.
Ah, yes.
Okay,
Well, you have 2 or fewer stress tokens. You can boost a barrel even when you're stressed.
There are a lot of tech upgrades which are really good, really nice for that. And here's an example of me being a bit silly, forgetting that other ships move as well. But
oh, you bumped yourself. Oh, dear.
It actually works out quite good because Shaak would have landed on the gas cloud instead. So I think
the question is whether or not she'll have enough room to maneuver past it next turn.
I think she would, given the shape of that one.
Oh, also you can always intuitive controls for a barrel roll in the system phase if needed. There is that as well. So,
but it does look like Shaak will still have a shot on Hask, which is good.
And now you're
But
probably looking at going, oh, maybe I should have left the LAT's gun forward and backwards.
I'm not too disappointed with that because again, it was a bit of a risk, but I knew I was still going to have a shot out there because the Upsilon was in the left-hand side, so it meant that I was guaranteeing that I was going to get a shot.
True, go for the shot you know you're going to get rather than maybe getting one.
Yeah. And that way I can obviously double down with the arc if I don't think Shaak would be in range to do anything, but still got Oddball to come in as well. And he at least actually fit his maneuver.
Were you conscious at all at any point in this that you needed to keep Warthog close to the generic pilot in the Arc 170? Or was it a case of like, if the Arc gets low health, I'll try and get them closer together for Warthog's ability?
A little bit, but not so much. It was just more a case of they fly well together in general. But I mean, yeah, Warthog's ability would obviously be very handy there.
Because I've seen a few lists with Warthog, and he's generally flying with like maybe 3 generic pilots to really benefit from his ability. Whereas here there's only 1.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to fly it with, like I said, I've previously flown it with 3 V19s and then had Obi-Wan in the Delta 7 running off doing what Obi-Wan does. And the fire convergence works really well. And also Warthog's ability itself can be really handy because I tend to keep Warthog behind them as well. So that way the V19s would soak up the damage first. And they've got a surprisingly large amount of health for what they are. 5 hull on them. No shields, but 5 hull. It's still pretty effective.
Oh, not great green dice there.
No, getting the damage through on Hask. Finally got half points there.
Oh, you're one point behind.
Yeah, it's taken a long time to get there.
Yeah. As you say, there's a lot of health on both sides.
Yeah. It is not the easiest at all.
Just trying to work out the range, I guess, there.
Also working out who to shoot, who's going to have the better shot, because the Upsilon is strained. So go with Warthog first. Bit disappointed that it was 1 damage there. So
right, but with the strain token, the damage just hits, doesn't it?
Yeah, because he had no evades. In hindsight, it might have been better to go with the arc, not with that roll. But that way it would have been 1 evade dice on both, whereas target lock there spent. So yeah, would have been good to go with the arc because he'd have only had 1.
And there's the Upsilon without a focus. Ah.
So that is a hit and 2 crits.
And the shields are gone, so the crits are coming in. What have we got?
Console fire.
Oh, not good, especially when stressed and...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's quite a fun crit there for your opponent to get.
Fun for you or fun for your opponent?
Fun for me when I'm watching my opponent go to shoot me and possibly kill themselves.
Yeah.
Which I quite liked.
I also kind of like the idea of Gideon with swarm tactics going shoot faster and they just die because of it.
Yeah. But Quinn did roll the dice there for that and it was a crit. Because although Thanisson didn't actually have a shot, he still technically...
you still have to engage.
He activates the engagement phase, so always good to remember that as well.
So, I mean, I can sort of see probably where Hask is going to go, maybe where Whirlwind in the Whisper goes. I'm curious to see what happens with the Upsilon. Because on one hand, you really want to fix the console fire. On the other hand, you kind of want to do like a tight turn and fit between the debris and the rock.
Yeah, especially with less than 17 minutes to go, you need to
he's turning in for damage.
Yeah. And I think that's the
Oh,
right
also,
option.
was that? Oh no, it wasn't going over the cloud again. Okay, but
No,
still stressed, so no actions.
Yeah, still stressed, no actions. Misses the debris cloud, which is obviously handy for him.
Although I guess with Terex, it's just passing a calculate. It's not giving a calculate action. So
Yeah.
potentially still could have a little bit of mods.
Yeah, could still have mods, which is going to be handy. Wellwood's in quite a nice position there. Now, it was at this point when I was looking at it going, oh, this could be quite fun in a moment. It's not a lot of space to fit into, but
you've got a rear arc on the arc.
I've got a rear arc on the arc.
Yeah, I reckon you've gone up the board with that to shoot backwards.
I would absolutely hope so. And veteran tail gunner as well. I mean, I don't think I've ever actually triggered veteran tail gunner, and I'm just looking at this going, can I trigger veteran tail gunner? That would be amazing. Because veteran turret gunner is a lot easier to trigger. But veteran tail gunner...
a boost. Does that fit?
It did fit.
Okay.
It was an interesting option. I'm not entirely sure the reasoning behind it, because it very much puts you in bump central.
Was that linked in any way? Do you reckon that was like a boost in a rotate or a boost in a jab?
Well, I mean, with the enhanced jabbing suite, you just never know what.
Is that you taking a picture of you going, I can't believe that fit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much. There were a couple of moments where I was just like, wow, that is some good flying there.
You do realise that you were filming this game though, right?
Oh yeah, but I could get a much better angle.
Yeah.
And plus, for those of you that do follow us on Instagram, you probably saw this picture a couple of weeks ago, and I know that you saw it yourself, James.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, and I'm not going to lie, the contrasting colours between the TIE Whisper and the LA-80 and ARC 170 just look really nice. Like black and white versus like white and yellow. It really looked cool.
And now we get to the complicated stuff.
Yes, everything else.
Yep. I think, is Quinn maybe considering a linked action here?
Possibly. I'm thinking maybe actually Quinn prime thrusters. There we go. So he's
done a boost. Oh, he's jammed.
Yeah. So he's jammed Warthog.
Okay.
And it's at this point that I went, I wish I just dialed in a 2.
What, he's gone up the board and shot backwards. Oh, you're on a rock as well.
I've landed on all 3 rocks.
You know
ping,
what?
Ping, ping.
He may be a veteran, but he's maybe getting a bit up there in the years.
I mean,
Squad 7.
That's why he's in Squad 7 and not Squad 1, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I did that, I was just like, I could have had veteran tail gunner. Because I originally had dialed in a 2 forward as well, which would have been absolutely brilliant.
Looks like Warthog also bumped.
Warthog didn't really have much that he could do there. He was...
Yeah, there was a very good setup for a bump from Whirlwind.
Yeah. But luckily
Hask
with
getting off to safety.
Yeah. Luckily with Warthog's arc, he can still actually get shots off.
True.
And yeah, Hask legging it. Unfortunately, this does mean Shaak T's in a pretty awkward position because there's not much she can do there, really.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go for the system phase stuff to get around the gas cloud.
The cloud. I think it was the intention that there wasn't going to be as much stuff in front of me by the time she got
I can probably go over the cloud for a turn.
Yeah. I mean, again, the clouds at the moment, they're not that damaging. I can't remember off the top of my head what they're proposedly going to be doing, but...
I think they guarantee a token of some sort. I'm not 100% sure myself. I kind of want to just wait until the rules are fully published.
Yeah. Again, absolutely.
Man, everyone is bumping into Whirlwind today.
Yeah, no strain there, so that's not too bad. Still have a shot on the Upsilon. So I still have 2 shots on the Upsilon.
The problem I see here is that Shaak T has no tokens other than one force, and there is an Upsilon looking right at her.
I mean, that's why you take Brilliant Evasion, just in case.
Oh, that's true. Yes, you have Brilliant Evasion on board.
So I very rarely get a chance to trigger it, but when I do trigger Brilliant Evasion, it works really well.
Especially on a 3 agility ship.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Ben use it in Flight Academy as well. When he remembered it, he was like, "Oh no, I've got Brilliant Evasion, amazing!" And it literally saved Anakin there. So,
yeah, I guess I've not seen it much myself because I don't think I have any Force users with 3 agility.
Yeah.
For Rebels or Resistance.
Oh, 2 crits into Gideon there. Marksmanship coming up now.
Good old marksmanship. It's just solid.
Yeah.
And for one point? Yeah, 1 point.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, it's one of my favourite little ones there. That and Deadeye Shot. I'm a big fan of Deadeye Shot.
Also, potentially a really good combo with Oddball's ability in this, because Oddball is, if you do a red maneuver or a red action, if there's a enemy ship in your bullseye, you may acquire a lock on that ship. So they're already in your bullseye for the marksmanship. So that's eyeing up for a really big attack.
Yeah. Oh, that's a disappointing attack from Shaak T. Not spending the focus. The correct option.
Yeah, keep them alive.
Yeah. Oh, and just to clarify, that was a fuel leak on Gideon there.
Oh, yes, it was. Oh, so, well, that's really put Gideon on low health at that point. What have we got here? Is this Gideon shooting? Yes, Gideon has 2 natural dice, right?
It's not Gideon. I think that's actually Whirlwind out the back.
Oh, that also makes sense.
Yeah,
I always forget that Whirlwind is one of the ships that has like 2 different attack options without having an upgrade.
Yeah. And there we go. That is some damage on the arc. So just 4 shields left across the whole board.
Yeah, considering how many we started with.
Yeah.
Which is
a lot. It was 12 on Quinn's side.
19, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, it's a lot of health.
And even after getting rid of all those shields, there's still all this hull left.
Yeah. Not as much of it, though. The last couple of rounds have been quite damaging for Quinn.
You really managed to sort of gang up on Gideon earlier on. Again, whilst the Upsilon's turning around, but now it's back in the fight, it can really do some damage.
Yeah, but and that's 1 crit going through on Gideon, but that's a fuel leak.
Yeah, that triggers the fuel leak and
disabled power regulator.
There goes the support ship.
Yeah. But I mean, once the Upsilon was out of the fight for a little bit, that really did help. But it just had a couple of good turns. And I'm not going to lie, it wasn't looking particularly great at one point, with the arc continuing to be on obstacles the whole way through. A lot of bumping in there. Very tough. Very tough. And again, just so much to chew through. And here's the question: will Shaak T?
Yeah, I mean, I think you shoot Shaak T here.
You have to.
He might just have a shot at Warthog, but it's your best chance of getting damage on Shaak T.
Yeah, great chance of getting damage on Shaak T, and again, only 1 force token. So if you get 4 hits, that's damage, guaranteed. And no calculate. So
3,
three.
No mods.
Yeah.
Oh, we did go for Warthog.
Did go for okay.
All right.
Still alive. Interesting.
I guess Warthog is worth more points.
True.
Although I don't think it's quite enough to catch up with where you are now, but that wasn't the case at the start of the turn. Also, you're playing at the table, you don't know exactly what the points are.
Yeah, I mean, we just count it up at the end. Like, we might ask what's on half, but again, you can sort of see that. But yeah, I mean, Warthog's 63 points. He is the most expensive ship on the board. So, which is crazy. I mean, yeah, he's a medium-based ship, but he's more expensive than a Jedi.
True, yeah. We are also at a point where now Quinn is very outnumbered.
Yes.
Like when it's 4-3, it's like, okay, well, it's a difference of 1. Now you've got double the ships of him.
Yeah, it is. The thing is, you see some lists that do live in that sort of state, but they're able to handle that. The Whirlwind on its own is probably could do all right, but the Upsilon does not like to be outnumbered. It likes to, although it's got the health, it still likes to find that one outlier and hit it hard, and then hope that it can just get back in. But if it's got support, then it's fine.
But again, the Upsilon is now out of the fight again.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see, with 2 minutes left, I don't think we'll see that Upsilon back in the fight.
I mean, I guess that was like a 2-bank, clear the stress, fix the crit, maybe?
Crit looks like it's still on. Okay. I don't think he's fixed it.
Maybe it was a 3-bank. I couldn't quite tell the speed from looking at it.
Deliberate stop there from Warthog.
Yep, stay in the way.
Especially with Shakti's system phase move. Whirlwind needs to go quick, but there's some good coverage there as well.
And that is quick.
That is pretty quick.
But that is also it's slooping. Okay, I was going to say if it's facing the other way, it's in danger of the arc, but
yeah,
potentially I don't know.
Prime thrusters wouldn't get it out of.
But it might get you bullseye on Warthog.
True. But then you run the risk.
Yeah, you're then closer to the arc.
One.
So
yeah.
But he's going for it.
He's going for it.
Quinn wants damage. And to be honest, he must know he needs it. He's a ship down.
And guarantees him out of Warthog's arc as well there, which is quite handy for him. Does Shakti does not. So
is she gonna fit in the gap, or is she gonna bump into Warthog and get a shot?
She bumps into Warthog, so that's actually a really beneficial bump there. An
unintended situation that Whirlwind has created by barrel rolling.
You gotta love it when that happens, don't you?
What a happy coincidence.
Yeah. And
I think that's
not going to make it round. Basically parallel.
Yeah.
And not only can we see the timers up at the top, but my watch just flashed there, letting us know that the timer had finished. So this is going to be the last round of shooting. So last chance for Quinn to score some big points.
And maybe keep Whirlwind alive.
Oh,
he's not taking damage yet.
He's not. But he's only got 2 evades. And he's got 2 range 1 shots coming in.
It's true, he's not jammed, is he?
Yeah. It's that, I think, is sometimes where the Whirlwind really suffers, only having 2 green dice.
Yeah.
Is it the right choice? Possibly. Because it differentiates itself then from the
Whirlwind
of the silencer.
Whirlwind on his own is 47 points.
It's not expensive, really.
No, it's not. And I feel like, yes, you've got like prime thrusters, elusive, daredevil on here, homing missiles. That's a lot of upgrades.
Yeah.
And I know Quinn likes upgrades, so fair enough. But I think it might be a bit too much.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the damage goes. Nothing there.
Yeah, nothing into the Upsilon. So Shakti. Range 1. Ooh, that's not bad. Spend the force. Yeah, last round.
Is that 2? Cock's die, yep.
Oh, there's a shield.
1 shield.
Elusive. Oh no, that was elusive triggering. That's what happened there. Yeah,
Oh,
just,
right, that was the reroll. It just showed up
just
a little
out
bit
of
funny
half.
on the dice cam.
Yeah.
But yep, good use of elusive.
And then the Arc taking a shot. Nice range 1 4-dice shot from the Arc. It's kind of scary that the Arc's probably got the best gun on my side.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at an Upsilon that can shoot 5 dice.
Yeah. Oh, 2 hits and crit. Elusive is not available either.
So definitely some damage, but how much?
Oh, triggered an R7A7 there. Although Quinn did remind me you can't trigger it twice in the same attack. So you can only spend 1 charge. So just a hit and 2 crits. Shame.
Yeah, he's got what, 3 charges,
Yeah.
change a hit to a crit.
Oh, but they all go through. They
Ow.
all go through.
What are the crits then?
We have damage sensor array
Okay.
and fuel leak.
Well, at least they came out in that order for Quinn.
And veteran tail gunner triggers.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I guess that is an arc at the back, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, hit crits. And then triggering R7A7 for 2 crits. Both going through. So that was looks like a direct hit and a damaged engine with
So
just about enough
potentially
space.
the console fire could kill the Upsilon here.
I mean, you'd hate to see it, wouldn't you? I mean, it'd be funny.
But first, I think this is whirlwind shooting.
Whirlwind, yep. Takes out Warthog.
Takes out Warthog. Quinn got a KO.
And it does kill it.
I did.
It did kill
It's
it.
one of those situations like, oh, wouldn't it be great if that happened? And then it does.
Like,
Brilliant.
I mean,
like, unfortunate
you
in
have
one
to
sense,
laugh.
but also like, how often does that situation come up, and then it's like what 50-50 on whether it kills or not?
less than that. It's only on the hit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So it's not even 50-50. It's something like 25-30% odds, I think, on that. I don't have a dice to hand, but yeah, it's not it's quite low odds. But yeah, I mean, it's funny that it happens.
Any final thoughts on your Patreon list that you had to fly?
Compared to what it could have been, I actually really enjoyed it. It's an interesting list and not one that I would particularly write, but again, I really enjoyed those ships. So again, thank you very much, Andy, for putting that together for me. Really enjoyed that. So yeah, it was a good fun list. And if you guys do want to submit a list to us, join us on the Patreon. And again, we're more than happy to fly that. It's good fun, and we do appreciate the support as well. It allows us to continue what we're doing. But again, really well flown there from Quinn. It was a bit unfortunate. It just all collapsed a little bit towards
I really
the end.
like his Gideon Hask build, though. I feel like that in any kind of first order list, like, you don't even need the shield upgrade. Just the Hondo Terex combo. That's really good.
Yeah, good fun. Well, James, thank you very much for joining me for this Patreon list, and I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me back on.
Excellent. Right, guys, well, we're going to leave it there. So again, thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, link for the Patreon is in the description below, but we will see you next time.